Hello, this is Lilith Eeckels for TwoPeasInABucket.com. Welcome to another episode of 213 in 2013, your Monday video series here at 2Peas. In this series, we bring you 4 to 5 prompts that will help you get your creative juices flowing. Today I'll be showing you how I created this double page layout with a twist. And the twist is that one side hasn't got any photos. I really wanted to focus on that beautiful chalkboard paper, and it is also a layout about me, and I scrapped it so that it would encourage me to believe in myself, because I often lack in self-confidence. So let's just have a look at the 5 prompts that I came up with. The first one, to leave it as it is, or just about, to encourage yourself, to get nature involved, to cut out a stamp, and to hide your journaling. Now let's have a look at all of the supplies I pulled out to create this project. So I've got my photos. I've also got some stamps. These are clear stamps from 2Peas, and they are really, really beautiful. Some little stickers. These are tiny little word stickers from My Mind's Eye, which I didn't use in the end. Some beautiful butterflies I've been hoarding from Pink Paisley. I've also got these little tags, and I'll also be using the new Finley collection from Glitz, and I chose 2 papers, and I'll also be using the little border strips at the top. This capture little booklet from Basic Grey, some little bits and bobs, some ribbon, lovely pink ribbon, and I've also got a few embellishments from Basic Grey as well, and some little wood veneer stars. My watercolors, my best friends. Some gold thickers from American Crafts. This lovely little embellishment pack from October Afternoon. Didn't end up using those either. And then some lovely paper. I didn't use all of it either, but I just love this chalkboard paper. So let's just get started on the layout. I really wanted to focus on that beautiful chalkboard paper, and that's your first prompt. It's to leave it as it is. Just take something and hardly touch it. I did add a few little embellishments to tie it all together, but I didn't alter the paper too much. I'm going to be using my favorite colors because it is a layout about me, and I'm going to be using hot pink and aqua. And as you can see here, I'm cutting out those little strips from the 6x6 papers from the Finley collection because they really work well together, and I just love the little texts on it and the colors on them. I also took out this lovely card from Basic Grey which says today on it because I loved the aqua color in it. In the end, I won't be using it because it's just a bit too large and it didn't fit at all in the design of the cluster I had in mind. And while I was going through this little booklet from Basic Grey, I came across this really, really fun little card. It was actually meant as a journaling card, and I'm going to cut it in half because I really loved the text that was on there. And I said that can be part of my title. So I'm just going to place my photos, and as you can see, I've tilted them a bit. It's something I'm using quite a lot at the moment, just to tilt those papers. Just adds a bit more movement. There you can see the part of the card I was talking about, and it says it's that time, and it's going to be part of my layout. I also cut out lots of little embellishments using my Cameo. So you've got these little leaves and that lovely chevron shape, which these shapes are from 2Peas, so you can buy them in the store. But I'm not going to leave them plain as they are. I wanted to add a bit of color. And I'm going to use my watercolors for that. So yet again, I'm focusing on the 2 colors that are on the layout as well, so the aqua and the pink. And what I usually do is when I use my watercolors is that I will wet the paper before adding the color. And that way the paint will just ooze its way around the paper, and you won't be left with big blotches of color that are too dark. And that's what I really like about the watercolors, that they just fade into the paper. The pink was just a bit too pinkish, so I added a little bit of red just to that it would tie in together with that paper that I had picked from the Finley collection. So I'm going to add a bit of nature to my layout, and to add that bit of nature I'm going to be using some leaves, and I'm going to add a bit of green, but I don't want it to be too green, so just picking a bit of blue as well. And when the blue and the green mix, I'll be getting this lovely soft aqua color. So yet again, the colors will really work together well with the other colors on my layout. So there you have those little die cuts all colored. So with just some white paper and die cuts, you can create lots of embellishments yourself. So once the die cuts are dry, I'm going to add them to the layout. And as you can see, I haven't glued anything down or adhered anything because I'm still playing around with all my pieces. Just fiddling around with that little camera from Basic Grey, which I find is really, really pretty. And I end up placing it back where it was in the beginning. So this is the base of the design, and now I'm going to add those little leaves. So yet again, this is just a question of trial and error and just playing around with all the bits until it seems cohesive and well balanced. I thought I'd add another one at the bottom, but just didn't work out, so I'm going to put that to one side, and I might use it later on a card or another layout. I wanted to add a bit more nature, so I've got my leaves, and I'm going to add those butterflies. And I love butterflies. September, I've got these beautiful flowers in the garden, and they attract butterflies, and it's one of my favorite moments. And butterflies are light, they are elegant. It's just everything I love. I'm using these pink paisley butterflies, but yet again, they're just a bit too plain. They're really beautiful as they are, but I just need to add a bit of color. And yet again, I'm going to go back to my watercolors and add a bit of pink and aqua. And I'm mixing them in together, so I'm going to just put a bit of pink on the butterflies and then just paint a bit of the aqua onto the sides or a bit in the middle, just where there's a bit of white left over. And so I'm going to get these pretty colored butterflies. I was being a bit dangerous here, working on top of my layout, but luckily I didn't have any accidents. I was just a bit too lazy to put my layouts to the side. So another little butterfly that I'll be using on the chalkboard paper, there at the top. And now I'm going to use those stamps from the two-piece collection. And I really love the banner stamp. I think it's one of my favorites. And this is another one of the prompts. It's to cut out a stamp. Stamping is so much fun because you can create your own embellishments with them. And by cutting them out, you create little elements that you can slip under your pages, like I did just here. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more nature, and by doing that, I'm going to add a bit of wood and using these little wood veneer stars. I think it just complements the colors really well. And now that I've got all the basic elements, I'm going to adhere everything to my page. And so I'm using my stapler again. Lots of people have asked me where I get my long reach stapler from, and I bought it I think in a craft store somewhere. If you have a look on the internet, I'm sure you can find them. Now, as you can see here, that was a horrible mistake. I wanted to add a bit of pink with one of the stamps, and it just messed up. And so I stamped it again on some white cardstock just to cover it up. And I think it looks really cute. It just adds a little element to the layout. I'm adding just a bit of ribbon as well, just to get a bit more pink onto the layout. And now I'm going to finish off the title. And that brings me to another one of the prompts, and that is to encourage yourself. I'm the first person to be really critical of my work, of actually everything. And I've noticed it doesn't bring me anywhere. I don't get my work done. I stop. I start being depressed. And so I have learned to be more confident and to really believe in myself and that I can make things happen. And even though sometimes it's difficult, just maybe by looking at this layout, I'll be able to get that bit further and just get on with it and not get stuck in all the negativity. And there you have it, the layout. I'm going to add a few little more splatters because I just like splatters. Splatters make me happy. And so instead of using ink, I'm going to be using the watercolors again. So I'm just adding lots and lots of water to that paintbrush and then just dabbing it into the color and then adding the splatters all over the paper. And this time I covered up my photos just in case. I also want to add a little bit of journaling. And I thought I could use one of the little cards from the October afternoon pack, but it just didn't work out. So I'm going to use a little tag. So here you can see that little tag I'm going to use. And it's just a bit too plain. So I'm going to add a bit more of that watercolor, a bit of that pink. And once that's dry, I'm going to add my journaling. So I hand journal most of the time. It's really, really rare if I would use the computer or a typewriter. I don't really like my handwriting, but I think it just adds that little something special to the layout. So the journaling is about how I have to stop being negative and just get on with it and believe in myself. And once the journaling is finished, I'm going to just slip it underneath a photo and have hidden journaling, the last prompt. I hope you've enjoyed this 213 and 2013 series. I can't wait to see your creations. Just upload them to the gallery and you might win a fabulous prize at the end of the month. And here is just a quick reminder of the 5 prompts this week. Leave it as it is. Encourage yourself. Get nature involved. Cut out a stamp and hide your journaling. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next month. Bye-bye.